It is early morning at Havant Aclew shed, and two Class A1X Terrier tanks are being prepared for their day's duties. It's 5:30 in the morning, and with tanks and bunker filled, number 32636 moves off shed and heads for the carriage sidings to collect her train. She passes through platform 3 and pauses briefly at Havant Aclew West starter signal before being given the right of way to join the main line. The loco shed is situated on the south side of the Chichester to Portsmouth main line at the east end of Havant Aclew station. The carriage sidings are on the north side of the main line at the west end of the station, just beyond the road overbridge. Several moves through the station are therefore required to make up trains. Having passed through platform 2, number 32636 crosses over onto the up line, pauses briefly and then reverses through platform 1 and disappears under the road bridge. The stock she is collecting will form the first departure from Havant Town to Hayling Island, scheduled for 6:30. More shunting moves are required across the main lines, but there are very few other trains at this time of day, so the shunting can be carried out without disturbance. The train is reversed across the crossover to platform 2, where the loco uncouples. It runs forward and runs round its train by passing through platform 3. The locos were built to a Stroudley design in 1872 as Class A1 and rebuilt by L.B. Billington from 1911 onwards to Class A1X. Number 32636 ran regularly on the Hayling Island line from 1961 to 63 and hauled the last special train on the 3rd of November 1963. Since the line closed, she has been preserved and is now running on the Bluebell Railway. The driver of 32636 couples a little roughly to his train and propels the coaches into position on platform 2, ready for the off. This train is scheduled as empty coaching stock to Havant Town and departs platform 2 at just after 6 o'clock. A1X Class Terrier number 32670 runs forward for coal and water for the day ahead. Like her classmate, number 32636, she will spend the day shuttling backwards and forwards between Havant Town and Hayling Island. The journey time is about 13 minutes each way, and in the 1960s, when passenger traffic on the line was at its peak, there were 15 return trips per weekday. Hayling Island was a popular holiday destination at that time, and the line was even busier at weekends. The final timetable for 1963 showed 24 return trips on Saturdays and 21 on Sundays. (32670) returns under the road bridge on the down line, drifts through platform 2 and crosses over onto the up main line. 32670 regularly worked the Hayling branch from 1954 onwards, including hauling the last train. She reverses through platform 1 to collect her coaches. Since the line closed, she has been running on the Kent and East Sussex Railway as number 3 Bodiam. It's 6:35 and the first train arrives from Havant town, and after a brief pause to pick up passengers, she departs for Hayling Island. The reason the Terriers lasted over 90 years on British Railways and its predecessors was because of the weak Langstone Bridge connecting the mainland to the island. The locos, at just over 28 tons, were the only ones permitted to cross it. Ironically, the bridge, which by the early 1960s needed urgent and expensive repairs, was also the reason for the line closing in 1963. Shortly afterwards, the first slow train from Chichester to Portsmouth arrives. These two-bill EMUs were introduced from 1938 onwards and formed the backbone of the services along the south coast for over 30 years. They worked slow and fast services from Portsmouth to Brighton, and finally bowed out as late as 1970. "32636 arrives with the 702 from Hayling Island, with early workmen and commuters on board, no doubt keen to get to work in Havant town before 7:30. The first fast train from Brighton, comprising another two-bill EMU, passes through Havant Aclew without stopping. The early train from Hayling Island departs for Havant town. Another two-bill EMU draws to a stand, with the first stopping service of the day to Chichester. It's now just after 7:30, and the second of many trains to Hayling Island arrives. We have been watching trains for over 2 hours, and now the day will settle into a familiar pattern. Slow and fast trains to Chichester, Brighton and Portsmouth, and of course local services to and from Hayling Island. There will be more and different trains to film later in the day, but that's all for now. See you next time.